Hello, everyone. Welcome to the recording of our Healthy Happy Hour. I know that a lot of you had interest in coming today, but this was very last minute to share with you all in time for taking advantage of this week's sale on the Isagenix products that we're going to be using for our 30-day spring cleanse challenge. So I'm going to be giving you a lot of information today. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my story with Isagenix and why, as an herbalist and as an aromatherapist, I've been partnered with this company. And I hope to give you a lot of science today to help to support and inspire you through the idea of trying some intermittent fasting or cleansing if you've never done that before. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So, welcome again. My name is Dr. Erin Oberlander. I am a certified holistic aromatherapist, a lifelong folk herbalist, also have a doctorate in music. And I am so excited to share with you about our spring cleanse challenge today. We are going to be using some products from an amazing company that I've been partnered with since 2015 called Isagenix, and their tagline is the art of well-being. So here's my initial personal transformation. Today's focus is not so much on weight loss, although I am going to share some information about that. But I did want to show for you what happened for me initially in 2015 after using the products. This was my 1 year results, which were just jaw-dropping. And I'm a person who has struggled for the last 25 years or so with really extreme overnight weight gain. For a long time, I didn't know what was behind that. I do now. And I've been crawling out of this hole of extreme mold exposure and the concomitant things that happen with that, with the immune system and inflammation, a lot of that culminating 4 years ago. So although I had this initial transformation with Isagenix, I've continued to use the products and do the cleansing system faithfully as much as I have been well enough to do so. But 4 years ago, my journey really surged when we found out that we had been living in very high levels of toxic mold and bacteria in our home. We didn't know because it was in the ductwork. And once it was discovered, the reason why I had been struggling with many of the things that I'd struggled with, like brain fog and hormonal issues and not being able to lose weight and inflammation and mood issues. And I mean, the list really goes on and on. So, although this is my initial transformation, what I want to share with you is that my doctors have told me that they don't understand why I'm doing as well as I am, given the genetics that I have and the types of exposures that I've had. And they say this to me every time I see them. And I really have to credit the products that come from Isagenix, along with many other lifestyle things that I do. But this has really been the core of my nutrition. It's been the core of my supplementation. It's been the core of what's helped me to stay relatively on top of a lot of symptoms that, if you've ever known anybody who's gone through a mold journey, are very, very life altering. So, although these are not like medical products in any sense, they have helped my body to cope with everything that it's been going through. So, while there is a weight loss component that we can potentially associate with the idea of fasting or cleansing, it really is not the focus of why I personally have chosen to keep that as a regular part of my routine. There are so many other benefits for fasting and intermittent fasting, and we'll get into that in a moment. So, just Isagenix, a little bit about this company. They're a global leader in evidence-based nutrition. You're going to see a lot of the studies today. Premium protein, whole body cleansing, that's what we're talking about. And they really desire to help and assist a lot of people find their way back to vibrancy. They consider that there's these different aspects or facets of the art of living: nutritional health, physical health, social health, financial health, holistic health, and mental health. And Isogenics has different things to address all of these needs. So, with our nutritional health, we have the evidence based nutrition, and a lot of this, if not all of it, is backed by cutting edge science, cutting edge product innovation. Physical health, helping people keep an active lifestyle. Longevity is a huge part of the Isogenic story, and their products and their systems are all designed to help with that as well, to help build that lean muscle, to help manage ongoing chronic stress that so many of us struggle with. And our products for the cleanse are going to be doing these things. Financial health is through the financial opportunity with Isogenics, that it has also been a blessing to me as I've built my business, Arcadia Holistic School, as I've been, training apprentices and teaching students over the years. This has been a facet of my business. I've been paid every Monday morning since 2015, and it's actually allowed me not just to continue to use the products, but also funnel those funds to help grow the other aspects of my business and allow me to really share holistic lifestyle with so many more people and in so many different ways. So I'm really grateful for that. We have the social health through our culture, which is incredible. The family that I've come into through this company has been incredible. Mental health comes out of that, a connection to community and sense of purpose. And holistic health, mindfulness, and our core values are all part of that, as well as contribution. This is not a one off company. This is a company that's been around for a long time. We are in 24 markets globally. We have been around since 2002. And yes, it is a network marketing company. There are a lot of not great network marketing companies out there, and there are a few good ones. This is one of the best, and it's recognized in the industry as one of the top ones in terms of ethics, in terms of business structure and business model. Now, as a business owner myself, I partner with a lot of different partners within my business, lots of different business structures that I find myself partnering with to promote different products that have really helped me or have helped my clients. And this just happens to be the model that Isogenics is in, and it allows them to provide a very high quality product that is something that I really appreciate. So there's lots of different solutions in Isogenics. I'm going to mention this just very quickly. If there's anything else that you want to know about here, you can scan that product code on your screen, and that will help you to go to the product information sheet. But not only do we have the nutrition and weight management that we're going to be talking about today, the natural beauty part of Isogenics is so beautiful and something I honestly never really thought I would get into, but their skincare and their collagen products are incredible. Energy and focus. It's a healthy happy hour. I am drinking my favorite beverage, which is Isogenics Bia, their natural energy drink. It doesn't have any crap in it. It has liquid vitamins from whole food sources. It has 125 milligrams of natural caffeine from green tea, and it has adaptogenic herbs, which, as an herbalist, I cannot say enough about. This is amazing. You can actually use this during your cleansing system, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Stress and sleep are another big area that people have issues with. Gut health and fitness. The pre and post workout nutrition that Isogenics has available is some of the cleanest and top products out there, and I use them all the time, as does my husband. We love them. So Isogenics is committed to scientific research. We've had studies done on our products. They've been third-party independent tested. They've shown results in the positive for weight loss, long-term weight maintenance, improvements in performance, improvements in cardiovascular health, and pertinent to our spring challenge, toxin release from fat stores, which when we are fasting, when we're intermittent fasting, when we're cleansing, that's really what we're after. We are after the toxins that get stored into our fat cells when our body is in that overflow state. That bucket of toxins has not been able to be removed by our organs of elimination in the normal way. A lot of different reasons why that's happening. But the process of the cleanse that Isogenics uses helps and is proven to, it actually shows that we are able to release toxins from the fat stores. And as a practitioner, a secondary note I will make here is that the system is set up to help to eliminate those toxins from the body and not just allow them to continue to recirculate, which is really important. A lot of the cleanses that you see out there do not contain that part, and that is why people just find themselves going back to feeling the way that they did before. So here are all of our peer-reviewed studies from all of these different organizations, going back all the way to 2012 up to 2023. As someone who loves the intuition, but also loves the science, and I like to see validation for what I'm promoting, this is very important. We have a no compromise policy on all of these products. By the way, in case I forget, there's also a 30-day money back guarantee on them. We are sourcing responsibly. We use beautiful, high quality ingredients, no artificial colors, sweeteners, or flavors. Everything's gluten free and it is rigorously quality tested. So many of the supplements that you see on the market don't even contain the materials that they're supposed to contain and often contain high levels of contaminants based on what went into them or how that plant was raised. You don't know that unless the company pays for that third-party independent testing. Isogenics tests for microbial activity, heavy metals, and 70 different pesticides. So when I say that these products are beyond organic, I really mean it. So, backing away from isogenics for a moment, just looking at the topic of intermittent fasting, this has been a trendy topic in the health realm for, I mean, well over a decade, I would say. And in that time, so much more research continues to come out about the benefits of intermittent fasting. Some of the things that you may experience when you try intermittent fasting or even a longer fast are things like better energy and better mental clarity, glowing skin, improved digestion, reduction of visceral fat, improved immunity, improved mitochondrial function. So, what happens is that when you go into a fasted state, your body goes to work to repair itself. It starts on a cellular level where it goes into its self cleaning mode, and we start to see the mitochondria and the cell fire up their powerhouses, and they go to work to start cleansing and clearing out stuff that does not function, that is broken, et cetera, et cetera. It also increases the ATP molecule, which is our energy molecule. It increases growth hormone, which is something that we want to see for longevity, vitality, performance issues. When the digestive tract gets to rest, it can repair itself. And so many of us are dealing with leaky gut and different types of gut dysbiosis. So many studies are coming out now about how fasting can help to reset the gut, not just the gut lining, but also the microbes within the gut. So this is really interesting to know. The visceral fat is specifically something I want to draw your attention to today. Now, the visceral fat is not the fat that's just like here on your skin that you can pinch. It's the deep fat around your organs, and that is the fat. That is the dangerous fat that we think about when we think about cardiovascular disease and other big diseases, okay? So, when we get into a fasted state, the body burns visceral fat, but the studies on the isogenics cleansing system show that they burn a significant amount of visceral fat compared to a lot of other weight loss methods. And I'll be showing you a little bit about that. So, there are so many reasons to try intermittent fasting, but I think a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could go without food, or, I don't want to starve myself. So, I will just say that fasting is not for everybody. If you have a history of disordered eating, this would be something that you'd really want to self-examine yourself and see if you feel like you're at a good place for that. I've worked with people who have a history of that and they've done great. And I've also worked with other people who've been like, I don't think this is for me. If that's the case for you, an alternative can be what we call daily cleansing, which is taking a little bit of our Cleanse for Life product, which is a botanical and herbal elixir, every night before you go to sleep. And what that product does is it helps to open up your body's natural detoxification pathways. So while you're naturally in a fasted state while you're sleeping, because obviously you're probably not eating while you're sleeping, then you get a little bit of added extra benefit with that without having to go through the mental work of figuring out if you should do fasting or not. Other people that might want to be careful with fasting are people that have blood sugar stability issues, especially if you're diabetic. Again, I've actually had diabetics on my team that have done really well with this. And the reason for that is they knew their body really well and they had talked with their endocrinologist about this, but also because of the supports that we have during our isogenics, intermittent fasting, or cleansing system, we help to keep the blood sugar steady even though we're in a fasted state, which seems like it shouldn't be possible, but it definitely is, I assure you. So here's our 30-day reset. This is what we're going to be using for our 30-day challenge. It's either this or a smaller system, and I'm going to be giving you options for this at the end, as well as giving you more details about the 30-day challenge, what our cleanse calendar looks like, and all that kind of stuff. So this system really includes three pillar products. It includes our superfood nutrition with the isoline shakes that you have on what we call our shake days, where you have one or two shakes during that day, either as meal replacements or as additional snacks, depending on what your activity level and goals are. These help with gut health, and they also help to flood the cells with really high quality absorbable nutrition so that when you go into your fasted days, you're going to be in a good state in order to be able to do that without your body feeling stressed and depleted. The second pillar product that we have is Ionic Supreme, which is an adaptogenic herb elixir that you take daily every day of the 30 days, no matter if you're in a cleanse day or if you are in a shake day. And then finally, over here, we have Cleanse for Life. Cleanse for Life is the botanical elixir that we use on our cleanse days when we're not eating food and we're not having shakes. We can have some snacks though, and you can see that there's a snack bites right here. And then there's some supportive products here. Natural Accelerator we use to help to boost the body's metabolism through some herbs that help to amp up the heat of the body. Actually, it's Eastern medicine principles that went into the development of that product. And then Isoflesh is a product that we take nightly. And this is the product that I said is missing in a lot of systems. It has a gentle binder in it that helps to bind to any toxins that your body may have removed that day so that you can literally flush them out and they're not recirculating in your system. So, some of the evidence about this, there's so many things that I could say about these products, specifically about this system. I've used it for so many years. I've seen it work for so many people. So, let's look at this one right here. A University of Illinois at Chicago weight loss study that was published after 8 weeks of following the Isogenics weight loss system as compared to the heart healthy diet. People saw 56% more weight loss with the Isogenics. And this is the important part, two times as much visceral fat loss. That's that fat that we really want to target. Okay. Here's another one over here, our Skidmore study, weight loss and weight maintenance. So after 12 weeks on the isogenic system, we saw a 20% loss in fat mass, but a 9% increase in lean body weight, meaning that you actually will put on lean muscle while you're losing fat, which, if you know anything about how weight loss works, it's incredibly difficult not to lose muscle while you're losing weight. The fact that you would be able to put on muscle is crazy. And it's because the protein in the isogenic shakes is so absorbable that you're really getting that into the body where it can build that muscle for you while it's losing that fat. Incredible. So here's our Isoline shake. This is about $4 or less. It has whole food vitamins and minerals from things like spinach and kale and mushrooms and a lot of different other botanicals. It has 24 grams of protein to do that muscle building and that fat burning. And you can get either a dairy version of this or a plant-based if that is what you prefer. I found this really interesting. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this is an investment. And yeah, it is an investment. You are investing in your health. But if you're going to use your shakes as a meal replacement, you will probably save money, especially if you're a person that likes to go out to lunch a lot. or grab lunches while you're at work. And what they've found is that going out to lunch at minimum, if you're getting a healthy meal, 8 to 10 bucks. I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot more than that. Whereas if you do a shake for your lunch, you're actually only spending $4. So a lot of people over the years that I've worked with have found that although they're making an upfront investment, they're actually buying their groceries and they actually end up saving money while feeling more satisfied. So here is talking about our cleanse system specifically and getting into Cleanse for Life, which is that elixir that we're going to be using on our cleanse days. So this elixir supports the body's own natural detoxification processes and it helps to fight oxidative stress. This is not a laxative, this is not a diuretic, this is not a poopy cleanse, this is not you're going to be in the bathroom all day. This is a cellular cleanse, very, very different than what we often associate with the idea of cleansing. It has herbs, antioxidants, and plant botanicals. So here is an idea of what a cleanse day routine would look like. In the morning, you're going to get up, make yourself some Cleanse for Life, have a natural accelerator, and one of those little snacks that I showed you. Late morning, some more Cleanse for Life and some Ionic Supreme, the adaptogenic elixir that helps with stress. Then in the afternoon, some more Cleanse for Life and a little snack bite. And then in the evening, you can have your Cleanse for Life and your snack bite and your Isoflesh. Now, the snack bite we can replace with a lot of different things that qualify for Cleanse Day approved. So this BIA is one of them. We can also look at what I'm going to suggest for this cleanse for this 30 days is the collagen bone broth. Why? Because when we cleanse, we often get really cold once our body gets into fat burning mode. And it's just very nice and cozy in the evening before bed when you haven't had anything to eat all day to make this warm cup of collagen bone broth and to enjoy that before sleep. My husband and I, that's kind of our ritual. We do a double cleanse day every other week, and we usually have a collagen bone broth in the evening. It just makes it feel warm and cozy and gives you something to look forward to and helps to warm you up. So, looking at some of the results of the cleanse system after 12 weeks, again, we see that 5% decrease in body fat, 7% decrease in the weight circumference, and this is a big one, 44% decrease in hunger levels. Why? Because when you're fasting, you actually are resetting your body's four hunger hormones. I'm not going to get into all of that. But what people find is that when they get into a regular cleansing routine, a lot of their food cravings tend to go down significantly. A few years ago, a number of years ago now, I actually had a male client who got on the cleanse system and he didn't have a plan to stop his chewing habit, but he found one day that he just wasn't anymore. And this happens a lot with people where they have a habit and that habit's there because the body's actually telling you, I'm not getting something that I need. So when we flood the body with this amazing absorbable nutrition and give the hunger hormones a chance to reset, suddenly a lot of those cravings just sort of fade away. And I've found that for myself to be true as well. So the Cleanse for Life, again, is what we take on the cleanse days. It has things like aloe and a lot of different berries, turmeric, which of course is very prized for being anti-inflammatory, peppermint, which helps just the entire system. Peppermint's kind of magical. And it helps to nourish the body while keeping you still in a fasted state, supporting the body's detoxification systems. As an herbalist, I absolutely love Cleanse for Life. It has things like burdock in it, which is an herb at this time of year. It'll be one of the very first plants that emerges from the ground. And nature is always showing us in every season what our bodies are needing in that season. So the herbs, the plants that come out of the ground in the spring, like onions and garlic and burdock and dandelion, are all very prized for the cleansing properties that they have within the body. And I love that Isogenics formulators put that into this product. It shows a lot of intelligence about formulation that those types of things were included, and it really does amplify the amount of detoxification that happens. So this is my other very favorite Isogenics product. This is the Ionic Supreme that you take every single day. And this tastes amazing, first of all. And it is amazing for helping with stress. And I have to tell you, this is a very magical beverage. The very first time I tried a 30-day system, I was extremely skeptical. I had never done anything like this. Thought it was going to be totally hokey. But I got my products, and the first thing that I tried was the Ionic Supreme, and I will never forget that when this elixir passed my lips and went into my body, I could feel an energy shift. And I really can't like make sense of why that is. There's so much incredible smart herbal formulation in this. It has ashwagandha and rhodiola and eleuthero and schisandra and other adaptogenic herbs that tend to actually work better when they are in concert with each other rather than taken alone, by the way. These help the body to adapt to stress and changing conditions. They also help with things like mental focus and physical performance. They were first studied in modern times during the space race by Russia and the United States to see what we could give our astronauts to give them an edge in space. And turns out a lot of the traditional plants and the traditional berries also that were used throughout history by traditional cultures, in fact, do help with giving out the body an edge in space. So if it can help the astronauts, it can help you too. Again, so many peer-reviewed publications continue to come out, not just on intermittent fasting, but also on the Isagenix products themselves. I did want to highlight this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but of course, GLP-1s like Ozempic are very, very popular right now. And as a practitioner, I am very skeptical. I do think that these can be appropriate for certain individuals, especially those that are, truly diabetic, but I have become increasingly skeptical about the negative side effects of these types of drugs. So this is always a no shame zone with me. If this is something that you or someone that you know has done, there's no shame in that at all. But if you want to actually change the story for your body long term, the GLP-1s are maybe not going to be the thing. And here's what this shows, and I'm going to just point out a couple of things. So it took 68 weeks for somebody to have 30 pounds of weight loss on a GLP-1, where somebody did 25 pounds of weight loss on Isagenix system in 12 weeks. Over here, they did 8 weeks and they lost 18 pounds. So less time for very similar weight loss results. Fat loss over here on the GLP-1s was 18 pounds, but over here on Isagenix, it was 21 pounds. What does that mean? It means that there's less visceral fat loss on the GLP-1s. It's actually double visceral fat loss for the Isagenix system. And they're losing a lot of lean body mass on the GLP-1s. To translate that, it means that people are losing muscle mass. This is not something that we want to see because muscle burns more fuel. So if we're looking at maintaining results over the long term, which people are not doing with the GLP-1s, we're not going to find that with the GLP-1s because of the loss of that muscle. Also, muscle, we are now learning, is one of the most important aspects of longevity and vitality and is anti-aging for many, many other reasons. So if we're doing this system, we have to realize that this is a consequence, and that is not something that I want to see for people unless they don't have another option. Over here, we have two different views of Isagenix, a 12-week or an 8-week. Here are the results. We're seeing drastic decreases in the visceral fat here and not seeing the muscle loss in the same way. So compared again to the heart healthy diet, 2 times more weight loss, 78% more fat loss, 2 times more lean muscle retention. Here are some of the creature comforts that you might get as part of your 30-day system. The snack bites I already mentioned, you can use these on cleanse days. We also have energy shots that are all natural and have adaptogens in them. Those are also cleanse day approved. And then other options, if you're not like a shake person, you like to chew your food, totally understandable. We have protein bars, we have protein crackers. Isoflesh is something that I'm going to recommend everyone have. Now, if you get a 30-day system, you're going to have it. If you do my option 2, I want you to add this on. This is the binder that helps to pull things out of your system that we don't want recirculating. You can see some of the benefits there. The bone broth is the one that I'm going to recommend for people for their creature comfort if it sounds good to you. Here's some of the information bits about that. So we can use this on cleanse days, lots of vitamin C, helps support collagen production and healthy skin, responsibly sourced, 8 grams of the collagen peptides in here. So really great, nothing artificial ever in our products. Bia, this is what I'm drinking right here. Love this. This is another option of something that you might want to add on and have for your cleanse days. And hydration. So, not a lot of time to go into this today, but hydration is not what we think it is. It's not just drinking a lot of water, it's also making sure that we are replacing minerals. So, when you're cleansing, it actually is really great to make sure that your electrolyte balance stays where it needs to stay. Now, all of our products are balanced in this way, so you're going to get support no matter what you do. But if you're a person that struggles to drink water, or you've been looking for healthier hydration than Gatorade, which is filled with toxic sludge. Basically, it really is actually. It's filled with toxic petrochemicals. You can look down here at some of the different products that are on the market and the different things that they offer. Do they have artificial stuff in them, or are they all natural? And our hydration product is called Hydrate, and it has many more of the minerals and a greater variety than you're going to find in most electrolyte products. I freaking love this product. And the watermelon flavor also has hyaluronic acid for healthy skin. We also have this one right here, which is a peach lemonade flavor that has different herbs in it for immune support. So if that's like it's something that like you feel like you struggle with, this is an additional product that's fairly inexpensive that I would definitely look at doing just even long term. So our limited time anniversary deals, this goes through Tuesday night. I've been telling people Monday because I looked at the calendar wrong. It's through Tuesday night. And the more you spend, the more you save. So your initial order with Isotonics is always free shipping. If you spend over $225, you get 10% off. If you spend over $275, you get 20% off. So here are our two options. These are the two options that are minimum orders that you would need to place in order to be part of our spring challenge. The first one is our basic 30-day system. So this is the system that I showed you very at the beginning. You get 4 Iceland shakes that actually replaces 2 meals a day if you would want it to. Your Cleanse for Life, your Ionic Supreme, your Snack Bites, your Natural Accelerator, and your IsoFlush. So this is a basic, this is everything you need to have an incredible, amazing experience and very amplified results. This is 20% off right now because of the price of it. So normally it's $330 and about $10 per day, keeping in mind that that actually replaces 2 meals too. But with a 20% off and free shipping, it's about $264 plus whatever taxes to your location. Option 2, if you don't want to do that many shakes, that's basically the difference between these two systems is do you want to do 1 shake a day, or do you want to do 2 shakes a day? And do you want to have some extra creature comforts, or do you want to just do absolute bare bones? So this is absolute bare bones in my mind for actually having a successful and enjoyable experience. So this is called the Healthy Lifestyle Pack, and then adding on 2 creature comforts. So the Healthy Lifestyle Pack is here. You get 2 shakes, so that's 1 shake a day. You get 1 Cleanse for Life and 1 Ionic Supreme. Now, depending on how much Cleanse for Life you end up using on your cleanse days, you might end up having to order more Cleanse for Life as we get into the 30-day experience. So just that's a sidebar for you to make note of. Whereas with the 30-day system, you're going to have plenty. I would like you to add on IsoFlush because it's very important for binders to take out any of the toxins that have been removed. And then I'm suggesting the collagen bone broth as your creature comfort. But again, you can also look at the Hydrate. You can look at Bia energy drink. Trying to think of other things that the e-shots. So again, this replaces 1 meal per day. The subscription price for this is $228 for all three of these things. The sale price, so with this, you get the 10% off, $204, so it's about $6.84 per day. So it just depends on like, do you want to go this way or do you want to get this previous pack, which actually there's more value with because you get 20% off plus you get more of the things. So that is up to you. Now, you want to make sure when you place your order that you choose subscription rewards so that you get the lowest pricing, okay? After that, you can go in and turn off your subscription. You can edit it however you want. You can push it out. You do get $9.95 flat rate shipping on recurring subscription reward orders, which if you continue to use the products or you want to try other things, you end up having a lot of savings doing that. But this is always within your control. So I don't really ever start anybody on any other option besides subscription rewards. And honestly, I just think it's confusing that they have the other options. So this is what I would recommend you do. There's also a beautiful financial opportunity with Isagenix. I'm not going to really spend any time talking about this except to say that if you share Isagenix with somebody, you get a 20% commission on any products that the person buys. So anything that you purchase as a result of using my link, I will also get 20% in full transparency. But you also, depending on how many people you share with, and if you help them share, there's different rank advancement bonuses that can happen that can completely defray the cost of your products and basically give you free groceries. This is what it can look like to fully rank advance, and cycle pay is $54 per cycle. So as you see your cycle pay from your residual income adding up, this is where the long-term practically passive is what I call it, income can come from with Isagenix. Now, this is not something that I talk about a lot, but if it's something that is of interest to you or that is something that you need to explore, know that I'm here to support you with that as well. So here's our Spring Cleanse Challenge details. We're going 30 days, April 7th through May 7th. I'm going to be doing private group coaching on Voxer, which is basically like a walkie-talkie app. And it's very easy to use, and I will send you a link after you get your purchase made for the group once we get closer to April 7th. In that, I'm going to be providing daily inspiration and encouragement, healthy recipes, and we are going to be doing our 4 group cleanse days together. Now, I have 2 options for this as well. We're going to do a kickoff call together on April 6th, which is this exact same time on a Sunday, so that we can go through the products, answer any questions, make sure everybody knows how and when to use each product and what kind of cleanse schedule that they want to choose based on what their goals are. So cleansing option 1 is that we're going to do 1-day cleanses, just 1 day where you're doing the cleansing. And that's going to be, this should be on Monday. Sorry, this should be on Monday. I didn't look at this right. So we do cleanse day Mondays. So it'll be the 14th, the 21st, the 28th, and the 5th. Okay. And then you can also opt to go deeper into the cleansing process, deeper into that autophagy by doing what we call double cleanses. So the longer that you stay in that fasted state, the further your body goes into the cells, into autophagy, and cleans out more stuff and increases all of the good things that I was already talking about. So what happens for people a lot of times is they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to even just do 1 day. And then they do 1 day and then they wake up on the second day and they're like, I actually feel like I could keep going. Yes, because you have reached that point in the cleanse where actually your body is really into what it's doing and it wants to keep going. So if you want to have really deep results with your cleanse, you can do double cleanse days. So this will be cleansing on the 14th and 15th, so Monday and Tuesday, and Monday and Tuesday down here on the 28th and 29th, taking a break of a week in between where you're not doing any fasting, any cleansing, so that your body gets a chance to have a break. So those are your 2 options of how to approach the cleansing. So here are your next steps. So you want to get your products ordered by, it's actually Tuesday night to take advantage, and that's the 25th is the date of Tuesday to take advantage of the savings, and you can use my link for that, erinOberlander.isagenix.com. If you need help picking out your products, you're not sure what to choose, you can message me on social, you can email me at my email address there. I will also be sending this recording out. I will post the recording though first here on this page. This is where you can find all of the challenge details. So that's herbsoilsandsound.com/intermittent dash fasting dash challenge. I'm also going to be putting all of the resources for our cleanse days there, for our calls, our links, all that stuff. So that's kind of your hub to look for anything that you might need. And then once you have ordered your products, please let me know. Send me an email, send me a message that I'm like, oh, yep. That way you can tell me what your preferred email address is so that when I get our Voxer group ready to go, I make sure that I send you the correct link to the correct email address. So that is what I have for you tonight. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was inspiring. I hope it answered some questions for you. I would love for you to join us for this challenge. I'm only going to be doing these twice a year. I used to do them all the time. All the time. And then when I went through my dark night of the soul about 4 or 5 years ago, it's just taken me this long to crawl out of the very deep hole that I was in and be able to use the products for cleansing consistently enough. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I feel really ready to go here. So let's do this. But I'm only going to have it open in spring and in fall. The main reason being that these are the times of year that, from a traditional herbal standpoint, the body is primed to do some kind of fasting, cleansing. And in fact, this is what our ancestors did. Every spring, they would do some kind of cleansing practice, and very often a smaller one in the fall. So, if this is something that you've been looking at diving into and you do want that group support, that is what this is for you. But this system is always here for you anytime that you need to reset as well. So keep that in mind. If you aren't diving into the challenge right now, put it on your list for down the road. I always tell my apprentices and my students and my community members, make a wish list, like a shopping list for yourself of like, this is what I'm going to be investing in next when I can. This is my plan for the next thing I'm going to do for my health, for my well being. So if you're feeling called to this, put this on your list. But I hope that you're able to join us because I think we're going to have a lot of fun and I cannot wait to see your results. So we'll see you there.